No longer enforce a dress code for its members. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer handed down the directive to the Senate's Sergeant at Arms. The changes will allow for new looks like Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, who has become known for his signature hooded sweatshirts and gym shorts while on Capitol Hill. He will not apply to staffer or visitors who are still, this will rather not apply to staffer or visitors who are still required to dress in business attire.
All right, they should call it like the Belichick rule, right? You just wear your hooded sweatshirt on the Hill.
Fetterman got out of the vehicle that pulled up right in front of the Capitol mid-afternoon as the Senate returned from recess. He was wearing his familiar hoodie and gym shorts.
And that's exactly what's wrong in Washington. We're playing with the livelihoods of millions just so the GOP can just turn the screws against hungry Americans. He showed up with just hours after that bridge collapsed there. And he promised to make sure that any resources that they needed and any help and support. And guess what? That bridge was rebuilt less than a year, well in front of time.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the Democrats in the Senate, okay? Because Democrats are once again showing us that they really embrace the hard bigotry of no expectations, right? Democrats, when it comes to any policy in this country, when there's a problem, when clearly people have a behavioral problem, Democrats don't try to correct the behavior with, proper behavior. They just throw money at the problem and just continue to allow people to do whatever they want to do. Like, for example, when it comes to our failing schools, Democrats don't want to correct the solution by actually, stop teaching kids gender and woke ideology in schools and actually focusing on getting kids into good schools where they're going to learn with school choice. No, they rather throw money at the problem, okay, by supporting teachers' unions and relieving kids of having to actually meet any real academic standards, which just results in kids graduating without knowing anything, right? We're graduating dummies, right? And again, that same kind of pattern of low expectations is showing up in this news story right here that we got to talk about, because now in the Senate, okay, if you are a senator, you are no longer required to actually show up to work dressed like a senator. Now, Democrats are doing this because John Fetterman, the Democratic senator from Pennsylvania, who has had a lot of questions about his cognitive ability to legislate, has decided that, hey, I'm not going to wear a suit and tie. I'm not going to dress up in business attire. I'm going to come to the halls of Congress, the Senate, with a hoodie and shorts and sneakers. Again, just dressing like a bum. Okay, so Democrats, instead of enforcing a rule, instead of saying, no, you have to show up to work like a sitting senator should show up to work. I mean, it's one thing to have some issues being present, cognitively, right? At the very least, you can show up physically and be present like your actual senator, right? I'm just saying. But anyways, Democrats are bending the rules for John Fetterman, right? And that has caused a lot of conversation and debate about whether or not this is something we should be embracing, right? Should we be embracing our politicians dressing down, okay, dressing in casual clothes, instead of dressing in business attire like, respected senators and politicians have done historically in this country? And I want to talk about it because it is a fascinating topic. So with that being said, again, people are speaking out against this and they're roasting John Fetterman for, this rule being changed for him. And one of the people that is roasting him is actually Ron DeSantis, who spoke about this. Let's listen.
So did you guys hear the U.S. Senate just eliminated its dress code because you got this guy from Pennsylvania who's got a lot of problems. I mean, let's just be honest, like how he got elected. Well, I mean, he got elected because they didn't want the alternative, but he wears like sweatshirts and hoodies and shorts, and that's his thing. So he would campaign in that, which is your prerogative, right? I mean, if that's what you want to do. But to show up in the United States Senate with that and not have the decency to put on proper attire, I think it's disrespectful to the body. And I think the fact that the Senate changed the rules to accommodate that, I think speaks very poorly to how they consider that. Look, we need this country, we need to be lifting up our standards in this country, not dumbing down our standards in this country. And this is an example why.
Yeah, I agree with Ron DeSantis, and I'm going to get more into why I agree with Ron DeSantis in regards to the dumbing down of standards in this country, okay? But first, I got to mention this, right? He mentioned John Fetterman getting elected. He's like, I don't know how this guy got elected. Well, I can tell you why he got elected, right? It's the same conversation we've been having over the last 24 hours about people being upset with Trump for trying to win a general election, okay? The thoughts of America, the 304s of America, the garden tools of America have shown us in 2022 that they would vote for somebody that is cognitively questionable to preserve their so-called right to abortion. I'm just saying, right? So if anybody got questions about how did John Fetterman get elected, the answer is pretty straightforward, right? It's very straightforward if you just look at the exit polls, okay? I don't lie to you guys, okay? I just tell you the truth. That's it. But anyways, I agree with Ron DeSantis, right? We shouldn't be dumbing down our standards. Apparently, John Fetterman, though, is triggered by this, okay? He responded to Ron DeSantis saying, I dress like he campaigns. I'm assuming that means like shit, right? I'm assuming that is what John Fetterman is saying here, okay? That he dresses like shit the same way that Ron DeSantis campaigns like shit. I think that's what he's trying to say here. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, again, clearly he feels some type of way about this. He also went after Nate Silver, who said, starting a new political party for people who don't give a ish either about how John Fetterman dresses or what Lauren Boebert does in a theater. John Fetterman says, I dress like you predict, right? So John Fetterman clearly is taking issue here with people responding to him, even though in this tweet right here from Nate Silver, he says that he doesn't care about how John Fetterman dresses. He's actually supporting John Fetterman, but I guess maybe John Fetterman is still having some issues upstairs. So that's why he didn't really understand exactly what Nate Silver was saying. But regardless, this is what I think about this, right? Apparently, again, there's a sneaker culture. There's a dress down culture that's coming to the Capitol. I find it fascinating that only the politicians are allowed to do it. Visitors and their staffers have to continue to dress in business formal, right? Now, again, how do I feel about this? Personally, the way I feel about this is that I'm actually old school on this issue, okay? And let me explain why, because some people might say that, well, that doesn't make sense because you don't dress up on your show. Well, the reason why I don't dress up on my show is that, well, one, this is my show, so I can dress the way I want to dress. I'm in a spare bedroom in my house, right? I'm not in the halls of Congress. I'm not a senator or a politician, okay, or any type of elected official. I work for myself. And the reason why I dress the way I dress is because I am trying to appeal to average, everyday, normal people, right? And I am an average, everyday, normal person, okay? I purposely don't dress up, and sometimes I will just because, right, just to do it. But I purposely don't dress up most of the time because I'm trying to appeal to everyday normal people, right? I want my brand to be like, oh, this is just like, you know, my friend, right? I'm talking to my friend, right? When you guys listen to me and my opinions and my commentary, that's how I want to come off. It's just a normal person that you talk to at the bar about politics, right? And that's done on purpose, right? I do that on purpose. Now, if I was in a studio, it might be different, right? If I had to actually get up and drive to a studio and, you know, do this, then I might actually dress up, right? I might actually wear like a suit jacket or something like that every day. Who knows? As the channel becomes bigger, I might actually just do that, right? I might just wear a jacket every day, okay, and a shirt or whatever. I might do that, okay? But for me personally, I feel like this has worked well for me. And this is all a part of, I guess, the brand, right? Which is, you know, more casual, more laid back, you know, not, you know, super serious, okay? But with that being said, when I was in corporate America, I dressed up every day, even when I didn't have to, right? I worked in corporate America and the financial services industry, and the company that I work for actually allowed people to dress down, right? They didn't allow people to wear like jeans and stuff like that. I think some days they might have, like Fridays or something, maybe. But you can wear polos. You didn't have to wear a tie or anything like that. And I was one of those people that just never got on board with that, right? I just didn't feel right. Every day I literally would come to work with a suit and a tie, right? Dress pants, dress shirts, dress shoes, tie, every single day. It didn't matter what the day was. It didn't matter if everybody was dressing down. I didn't care. For the most part, a vast majority of the time, I was in full suit and tie. And the reason why is because I do believe in the old school dress for the position that you want, right? Dress for what you desire and how you want people to treat you and how you want people to see you as an individual, right? As a colleague, okay? You want people to respect you. So you need to make sure that you dress in a way that demands respect. And the best way to do that is to dress in business attire. And that is the advice I would give to any young man that's entering the workforce out of college, is that even though I know that we have a culture of now, oh, it's okay to dress down, you don't need to dress up, I would still recommend dressing up, because at the very least it shows the people that you should be trying to impress on your job, if you want to try to, move up, that, hey, he's serious, right? He comes to work every single day, dressed up, okay, ready to work. Obviously, you need to perform well at your job as well, too. But just the act of getting up, putting on a suit and tie every day shows that, hey, I'm serious about my job. I'm serious about the way that, I look, the way that I dress, the way that I present myself in a corporate setting. And I just think that there's more benefits to dressing up and just adhering to these traditional standards than being casual, right? I think that it's just one more thing that you can do to stand out above everybody else, right? When everybody else is embracing, modern standards, I think continuing to dress up and to embrace traditional standards really says something about you as an individual, right? Especially, again, as a man, right? That's just my opinion. Okay, that's the advice that I would give, right, to any young person going into the workforce. Dress up, right? Don't embrace what everybody else is embracing and just coming to work with like golf tees and stuff like that. Dress up, okay? Especially if it's a corporate environment where the boss, right, your boss, the executives, the CEO, they're still dressing up, right? They're still adhering to traditional standards of dress. If they're still doing it, but they allow everybody else not to do it, you better make sure that you're dressing like the bosses are dressing, because again, that's going to make you stand out. That tells you in your head that, hey, the bosses still value traditional dress, right? The leadership still values traditional dress. Therefore, I need to make sure that I value it to show them that, hey, I'm serious and that I want to be a leader, right? I really do believe that there's benefit to it. Now, again, some people may disagree with me, but if I had a regular corporate job that traditionally requires you to dress up, I would continue to dress up regardless of the current dress code standards, right? And I believe that the Senate should be that way, right? I believe that if you are a self-respecting senator, you should come to work dressed up in business attire every single day, because that is what the job commands in regards to respect, right? And I think it's disrespectful to walk into the halls of Congress in sweatshirts, t-shirts, and sneakers when you're coming to work to legislate and to work on behalf of the people, okay? You need to show up to work looking like that you actually respect yourself as an individual, and you also respect the place that you're at, right? The history of the place that you're at, okay? I mean, that to me is extremely important, right? And that's why I don't agree with this. But again, it's a part of the pattern that we're seeing that comes from the left, Democrats, where they're pushing, which is the lowering of standards in our country, right? School, government, corporate America. We don't hold ourselves to a high standard anymore like we used to in this country. We really don't, okay? We've decided that it's okay to be mediocre, okay? It's okay to come to Congress dressed like a slob, right? To look any type of way, right? This is the culture that we're embracing. And in my opinion, that's going to lead us down a path of decline, right? Okay, that's exactly what's happening. Okay, I mean, again, some people may say, "Oh, it's not a big deal. You're making a big." No, it's just a symptom of a much bigger problem in this country when it comes to standards. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.